Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Michelle Knapman. I am a 26-year-old knitter from Denmark, and yeah, I have this little channel where I mainly talk about knitting. I talk a bit about my chronic pain that I live with, and it's probably also gonna come up some other crafts once in a while. So yeah, you're perhaps going to see some of that. But yeah, as I said, I'm 26. I live with my boyfriend in the middle of nowhere, some would say, in Denmark. I live on an old farm, a little old farm. It's not that big, and we love it here. So yeah. Today I think I'm going to start about just showing you what I'm wearing, because I don't think I've shown this to you before. This is another one of my self-drafts. If you don't know, I have a weakness for these lovely Monstera or philodendron plants. So I of course had to make it into a sweater. I made it a few years back. I think, was it 2022 I made it, so in the winter. And I made it while I was sick, and I got a lot of fun out of it because I had to redo it like a ton of times. But yeah, I got leaves all the way around the top, and then it got the leaves again on the sleeve, and just the green line running through. Yeah, it's knitted in Navia Trio. In, well, a beigey, brownish beigey color, and then this lovely dark green. It's the dark green. I tried some other colors. I like the dark green the best. And then I have compared it with a strand of I believe drop silk mohair, to just soften the fibers a bit off up, and I really like that. Not that I am a particularly person. I don't need a particular person to. I'm not. I don't itch that easy with this wool, so it doesn't matter that I know some friends and stuff find this very scratchy, and I don't find that at all. So yeah, and then I'm wearing my my Oona Socks. Again, the prettiest view ever. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, that I showed you last weekend that I finished. Yeah, so that is some of the things that I'm wearing. Oh, that's what I'm wearing of knits today. And yeah, so besides that, I thought I might talk a bit about some of the products that I've finished. I just realised that I don't have everything with me, but I'm gonna pop in some pictures to make it easier for myself. I'm sorry, that's just how it's gonna be. I finished 2 pairs of cable socks. I have shown you the yarn before, perhaps if you've seen. I went to what's called an AOH-messe. It's alt om håndarbejde, or everything about crafting fair. And I bought some hand-dyed sock yarns there. I bought 2. I bought a very bright, beautiful blue and a very bright, beautiful green. The blue is called Blue Lagoon, and the green is called Jungle. And I knitted 2 pairs of socks out of them. The first, I knit them from the bottom up, which was my first time trying that. I started off with the blue ones, and those became some cable, pure cable socks, and I love them. They're so gorgeous. I did use some leftover yarn. I think it might not be a wool, as I have perhaps said before, but actually that it was Mayflower's First Class. It didn't have the label on, so I couldn't see it. I just found something. But yeah, and of course I'm gonna pop in pictures if I haven't already. I really like them. I think they're super pretty. And then when I finished those, I had to do the next pair, which were the green ones. And after I started them, I started rewatching The Lord of the Rings again. I'm one of those. I love The Lord of the Rings. And I don't know why, but my my pattern have cables and some leaves on it, and it just reminded me of Legolas. So I've dubbed those the Wood Elf socks. And they're perfect for spring, I believe. And I can't wait to wear them. I still need to wash them. Oops. But I think they're going to be great. So yeah, both of those, as I said, I needed from Toe Up, which was my first time trying that, which was really fun, and I actually like it. I did the forethought heel, and a way to do an afterthought heel. Apparently, I'm not that into that kind, but I actually really liked it because I like doing contrast heels and toes sometimes, and when I did it that way, that meant that I could actually just knit up the cuff until I basically ran out of yarn. I split my, I got the hank and I split it into equal sizes, more or less, as equal as possible. And I knitted 2 at a time to make sure that I do that basically by preference, but also because I figured that to me that means that I don't forget to do things that I did on the first sock on the second sock, and I don't do something on the second sock that I did on the first sock. So yeah, but it's preference for me. You can do what you can, of course, just, I think the entire thing of splitting the yarn in 2 basically makes you a bit more safe. But I figured, I realized I can't be 100% certain that those 2 are exactly the same. I don't have a weight that's that good. So yeah, but it turned out really lovely. And I just realized that's really cool. So yeah, I really like the things that I ended up doing with that, and I could see myself doing similar socks in the future, definitely. The yarn I used is Painter's yarn Sock Merino Mini, so it was only 50 grams skein, which was super cool because they were just for a pair. I could make them a bit longer because of the fact that I use contrast for the toe and heel, though my blue one that was completely cable did become shorter than the green one that was only partly cable and part lace. So, you know, it makes sense. Each hank was 200 Danish crowns. I'm not gonna take in the yarn that I used for the toe and heel because it was so little, and I haven't weighed it, so I don't know. But so a price for a pair is 200 Danish crowns, which would be just around 27 euros and just over $29 US. So I think that's quite nice for some hand dyed yarn. That pretty, definitely. So yeah, so right now I've matches that I actually have knitted 3 pairs of socks, and we are in the third month of the year. So I'm thinking about seeing if I can keep it up and do a pair of socks for each month. So yeah, because the first one were the Oona Socks that I'm wearing today. Though they are a bit big, I really like them. So yeah, then if you don't know, you probably don't know. I spent 5 days in Sweden to visit my cousin recently, and on the way up there I thought, you know what, I'm gonna need some easy knits that I can just do. So when I got to the airport, I cast it on for this hat, and I actually said to myself before I left that I was gonna bring some mohair to soften up at least the inside here, because my forehead is basically the only place where I can get itchy. I've learned. I did absolutely forget that completely. It's actually still in the box, but I finished it and it's actually okay. I haven't washed it yet, so I'm assuming it's going to be a bit softer. But I thought, you know what, having a hat, I'm going to go to not northern Sweden, but I'm going to go up a bit over Stockholm, which is quite far up compared to Denmark. I don't have a hat. Let's make a hat. And I finished it the first day. I had 2.5 hour drive with my cousin where she drove, and I just knitted this, and in the evening she spent some time playing tennis, and I finished this one there. So yeah, I knitted it in my leftovers from my Elastic cardigan or trøje. This is the yellow that I had in. I just had a lot of extra, so I was just like, well, let's make a hat. And honestly, I actually only spent, how much did I use? I used 78 grams, so I used a ball and a half. You can, I'm sure I have a large head, so, and this actually wouldn't hurt being a tad shorter. I can see if I do have a bun in, but with that it's actually okay. So as you can see, if it fits with that, it could quite easily be a bit shorter in the top. I could probably take a centimeter out some, but I really like it. I am a bit unsatisfied with these here, where I decreased. I ended up doing 2 together through the back loop, but I felt like I sometimes also took 2. The first time I had to rip it off because it was too short. I slipped 2 stitches off knitwise, and then I knit them together through the back loop, and it looked the same. So I'm considering doing one again, just because I have more leftovers, but do it from the top down, and because just like a raglan, I usually find that neater. So instead of decreasing, I would have to I have to make an extra stitch, and I usually find that a bit prettier. But yeah, it's a ribbed one, or a ribbed trim. I did the slip stitch just here for making a place to bend, and then I continued a bit on with the ribbing, just so that if I don't reach that point completely, it wouldn't look super odd for me. It wouldn't just be stockinette stitching from the wrong side, you would see. And then the rest is just stockinette that I took in 4 places. I could consider as well, I don't know, doing it differently, but I actually like the 4 intakes. It's just get a bit, I don't know if you can see it, but for me it looks a bit squarish because of that, but I like it. As I did use 78 grams, that would have been 2 skeins. And for some reason I found it funny to only write the price of 1 skein down for myself, but I'm gonna write the right price, and then I'm just gonna say per skein, and I'm gonna double it, you know. But before that, the color of this one is 2335, which I believe is mustard yellow. It's sennepsgul in Danish, på dansk, in Danish, yeah. So 1 skein is 37 Danish crowns. Then you have to double it, of course. So that will be just under 80, somewhere under 80 Danish crowns. And in euros, that is just around 5 for 1. That would be 10 euros for 2 skeins. And it's around $5.50 US, so that would be around 11 US dollars for 2 skeins. So yeah, hat season's quite over here in Denmark, I believe, but sometimes if it's a bit cold, it's gonna be nice to just have a hat to pop on. So yeah. And the last one have been in the works for a while, and you might already spotted it. It's this pretty one. This is my silk camisole that, oh my god, sorry, I almost dropped my my notes. This one is one I've been working on for quite a while, and I'm really satisfied with it. It hasn't been washed yet and blocked, so take that in, but I just really like how clean the edges got here, and I really can't wait to see it washed and blocked. This is the front of it. The thing why you can see the front and back is because I've sewn together right here. You can see that I sewn together the doubled knitted band here. But yeah, it's a bit creased right now because well, it's been in the bag where I knitted it and stuff like that. But I can't wait to wash it. It's gonna be hand washed, this one. I don't know what you do. What do you do? I'm one of those people that basically all of my knits go in the washer. We have a we have a wool cycle on the washer, and I do use that. That's no heat, and then I don't crank up the centrifuge too much, just a little bit, and then I put some wool wash in, and I do that with basically everything when I need to wash it. As a lot of my things are made of wool, I don't wash it that much. Especially not my outer layers. My socks get washed a bit more often, funnily enough. But my sweaters and stuff like that, if I don't sweat that much in them and if I don't make them dirty, I don't wash them. And if I can get, you know, wool is somewhat self-cleaning, so sometimes you can freeze it to kickstart that, or you can air it outside. I prefer to do that if I can get away with it. Definitely. But this one is silk, so I don't dare pop it in my washer. I'm gonna hand wash it. I was told to use some regular shampoo by the dyer, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna let it soak for a bit, for some minutes, 15-20 minutes I think, and then I'm just gonna, you know, get the water out, easily squeeze it out, no rotating or anything, just squeeze it out, use a towel to squeeze it out and lay it flat down to dry. And the only thing of blocking I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the edges turn the right way and everything. Also because this one does, it seems to be alright now. Maybe it just needed to be folded down, but it had, when I knitted it, it was like up all the time, so yeah. But yeah, I really like this double knitted edges that it has on up here, and as well as I made that in the bottom as well, as you can see. So I'm really happy about it. I am so excited for summer and for me to wear it, and there's a chance that I'm just gonna pop it under all my sweaters when it's done. I can't wait. So yeah, and I'm really happy. I think if I like this fit on me, I'm gonna make some more, perhaps with a higher bag or something. I don't know if I can do that, but it's just the cleanness of the edges I'm in love with. But yeah, this is made with mulberry silk from Seiden Atelier in Switzerland, that I told you 1,000 times. I got on holiday last year. I love it. I used 173 grams. By the way, it's dyed with birch. That's the color birch. I used 173 grams. That I would round up to 200 grams. I did buy 250, so I have some leftover that I'm gonna see if I can find something fun to do. Perhaps some accessories or something. But yeah. I figured out what I spent. I spent 744, let's say that, Danish crowns on 200 grams of silk. That is just around €100 and almost $109. So this is a bit more expensive, and I knew that when I bought it, but you know, I was on holiday and it was gorgeous, and I just felt like I need to have something down home with me from that shop because I was so in love. So yeah, I got this, and I'm so happy I've finished it now. I can't wait to use it. But yeah, it is silk, so, and it is hand dyed, so I kind of feel like the price is very much alright. So yeah, my lovely project. That was the last finished one, and wildly enough, I post me being Sweden. I've been really tired, and that's totally normal for me for something like that. I get tired spending time. We were out and doing a lot of fun stuff and and due to my pain, it's expected for me to be tired and stuff like that. And the last couple of days I've been really tired. I've been dealing with some extra pain. I just feel like I've had some sort of flare up in my pain. That's what happens sometimes. So I when I finished that one, I actually didn't have anything on my needles, and it was so odd to me, because I'm usually the person who have multiple things going at the same time, because I love having different sizes of knit going and everything like that. But yeah, I felt like I needed some time to recharge both myself but also my creative energy. And that's why I did start something. I started on a knitting swatch when I did, I don't know if let's say the day after or something. I started a knitting swatch for something that I really wanted to do, but I couldn't figure out where to start. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and it might seem like, oh, you just did it the next day, and that I did, but I usually have so many ideas in my head for something that I want to knit. That was so odd for me. I also don't have that much yarn currently, so that's not gonna help anything, but I did start on this. Let me see if you can see it, because it's actually quite cute. I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit. I hope you see it well. This is the bottom of a top, and it's really cute. This is my second try, because the first one that I made I didn't like. My cables were, it's tiny cables here, as you can see, and there were too close to each other. Now I have too close, and then there's a stagnant part, and then they start again with too close. I like that. I like the way it looks now. They were just too close, and they go opposite each other, and they are offset a bit, and they were offset too little, so it looked weird, I thought. So I decided to restart it. I redid my my diagram, whatever it called. What's that? Diagram? I restarted what I looked through. I made it again, made it more simple, and now I have this, and I love that. I'm knitting it on size 3mm needles. I'm not using a cable needle for this, because it's only four stitches that I'm cabling, so I take them off and just pick them up. It's sorry, my nose is itchy. It's okay when it's not that much, for me at least. So yeah, it took me some time to accept the fact that I probably would needed to frog to be happy with this, but that's what it is. So yeah, I'm really happy so far. Now I am thinking it's gonna get somewhat square neck, perhaps with some rounding in the edges here, and then just two straps that I want to make wide enough to fit over the bra straps, and then a bit high neck, so not like this where it's basically the same front and back, but where it's a bit higher in the back, and not the V to the square. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm just gonna continue this cable all the way up, and I'm hoping to continue them on the straps as well, and that they're gonna match. I've done everything I can for them to match, but it's just a question about reaching that point now. So yeah, it's knitted in Gunlap's Merino, in the color Lemon Curry. I'm so excited. It's hand dyed, and I love it. I love yellow. So what I'm doing actually is that I have, if you perhaps can see, okay, this one doesn't count. I have two strands going at the time. I am changing up every time I reach the beginning here. I cross them as you would do in if you knit intarsia. So you can perhaps this line here, those are the ones that I'm using for that, and I really had to really concentrate on my tensioning every time I go here so that the previous stitch don't get too tight. In the first try it did really happen, and you can perhaps see that in the bottom here it's actually going a bit up. I think I can fix that, you know, just with some stretching and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited, I really like it. But it's actually quite weird because everything I've talked about today, besides my Oona socks that I'm wearing, is self-drafted. I'm apparently very much in a self-drafting period, and I'm fairly alright with that. I like self-drafting. It's a way for me to use my creative energy and be creative, so perfectly fine. Yeah, and I'm curious. I'm actually curious to know if you do self-drafting, or you usually follow patterns, or if you then follow patterns, do you modify the pattern? Because I tend to do that sometimes, and other times there's just a pattern that just fits perfectly. So what do you do? Or do you do mix like I do? But I do mix, but I would say that I mainly do self-drafting. So yeah, I think it's really funny to look at this, and I really hope you find it funny to watch my videos as well. But yeah, that was a sidetrack. I do have some things that I bought that I thought would be fun to show you, because well, I've been waiting for one of the things, and I've been talking about it a lot, and I can't wait it for my sock knitting. Because one of the things that I got is this little Chow Goo sock needling interchangeable needle set in the metal needles, and they're so tiny. Look at them. Oh, they're so cute, they're so tiny. By the way, what on earth is going on in America with the way of with the needle sizes? 1.5 millimeter is 3 zeros, 1.75 is 2 zeros, 2 millimeter is 1 zero, 2.25 is 1, and then we still go up with 20.25, but then the American sizes go up with a half, because 250 is 150. I don't know if you can see it, but is there any, oh my god, focus, is there any meaning with this? Is there? But I'm so excited, I'm so happy about it. I also got an extra long cable for them. Not that I necessarily need it, I just thought, you know what, it's gonna be nice just in case. So this is an extra long cable besides the ones that already follow along with the set, which is 14 inches, which is 35 centimeters, 22 inches, which is 55 centimeters, and 30 inches, which is 75 centimeters. And then this one is a 37 inch, which is 93 centimeters, I think. So this is just a bit longer. And that's just because sometimes, depending on the size of what I knit on, it's nice to have an extra long cable just to go around when you're doing the when I knit magic loop with 2 at a time. So yeah, and it got these cute little notions toolkits, which have a few little things in it. So that's just what you need for everything. I think it's cute. I use Chow Goo's needles to knit with regular, so that's why I'm so happy about this, and I'm expecting not to bend my needles on this with these. At the same time, so I also just got some shorter 3mm needles, I already have some 3mm in the... My camera stopped. Sorry. I was talking about my needles. These are shorter. I don't know if they're 8 or 9 centimeters. I think the other one, maybe 10 centimeters. I don't know. The other ones I have are 13. I thought, you know what, I would like to have some more 3mm because basically everything I knit for summer is on 3mm. But let me get some shorter ones so I have something to go between. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. It's gonna be great. And yeah, that's I got them home from my boyfriend who recently got back from a work trip to the United States, because they were cheaper over there, and yeah, I would really like them, so I got him to purchase them for me. I actually purchased them and just made them deliver it to his hotel, and he got them home. So yeah, and that's what I bought. I do have some yarn I got gifted from my local yarn shop. They are not selling it anymore, by the way. So this is like not I'm gonna say ad or gifted or whatever, but they don't sell this anymore, so that's kind of weird to say as well. This is the Rauma Gan Pellini. And this is, I think, I turned one of them in here. 50% pommel and 50% linen. Yeah, I got to choose. I chose it down there at them, and I really like. I'm really excited. I haven't knitted with linen, which was why I chose that. That's because I haven't knitted with linen and pommel together. And I was wondering how it felt, and I thought, you know what, I want to make a, I think I saw it in my last video with the patterns ideas. I have some of my self-drafted. I have an idea for like a vest with some cables in the side, and then goes a bit in and down. I actually have a sweater that I made once that reminds me of that. And I wanted it to be able to wear it for summer as well, kind of just like as a loose top. So that linen bommels, cotton, that's not bommel, cotton, I'm so sorry, cotton yarn, cotton and linen seemed like perfect for summer. So yeah, that's like all the basic knitting, but I know I go very much straight on into this. I'm sorry if you're not to that. I don't know why. I think I suck at small talking, but if there's something you would like me to talk about, I would be happy. I have considered doing like a knit and chat, where I just sit and knit and chat a bit about with you. That could be about anything, though I have been considering doing a knit and chat about my chronic pain, just if you're curious, because I'm trying myself to, I don't want to not talk about it, and the more I talk about it, and or the less I keep it like secret and hidden, the more I become okay with it and accepting it, and the less of a taboo it becomes to me, and the less of a dangerous subject it becomes, because I don't mind talking about it. I don't want to keep it down. And I want to myself get better at asking for help and everything. Which is also why I, when I went to Sweden to visit my cousin, before that I did actually try to record an intro for this trip, as well as I actually did make sort of like an ending. I didn't really film that much as I was there, but I did film, you know, my thought process, what I was bringing, how it went and everything like that. It's very chaotic. It's not completely knitting related, but it is also knitting related, because I knitted a lot, because the whole point of it is me being in the airport knitting to, first of all, spend some time, but second of all, just you know, to relax and breathe and use that to kind of, you know, get my mind off everything else, pain and everything but it's also a lot of about me talking about the fact that I need help in the airport. I can't walk through Copenhagen airport. I can't walk through Arlanda airport, where I landed in Stockholm and where I had to fly from again. I can't walk through that. That's too far. So I get a wheelchair assistance, where they pop me in a little wheelchair and they wheel me through the entire airport. And it's kind of weird because it's still new to me. So that's what that's about. And if you would like to see my very chaotic, not so travel vlog, do leave a comment, because I do want to make sure that the subject itself is not a taboo. And I do knit a lot, and I talk about my I do have an entire process of picking out the color for my hat. So yeah, that's kind of it. And if you would like a knit and chat about knitting, about my entire process of getting and having chronic pain, write a comment happily. And if you have any questions in general, of course I would answer it, and I'm gonna do my best to link everything I've talked about, that being the yarn, because everything else is my own patterns and stuff like that. So I don't know, do you want the yarn? I can link the yarn down below. Let me do that. But I'm gonna see if I can link it from. I'm gonna link it from the seller's place, those who produce the yarn, and then you can find somebody near you. Because if you're not Dane, if you're not living like just down the road from me, it's not necessarily that my local yarn shop that has that for you near you. So I'm gonna go to the producers to the place where they produce it. I'm gonna link to Sandness. I'm gonna link to Navia and stuff like that. Then you can figure it out yourself, I think. And yeah, of course I don't have any patterns to talk about, so I can't link them. Yeah, this was actually it for me then. My recent talk about knitting. Yeah, I want to small talk a bit more about everything. I want to be better at it. I go very much straight into everything. But yeah, what can I say? Have you seen my intro? I made it. I think I'm gonna put it in. I completely sidetracked me here. I bought Procreate Dreams. I already use Procreate. I draw things as well. So I bought Procreate Dreams the other day. That is an animation program where you can draw and animate stuff. And just to practice, I made my intro there, or my, the yarn rain. I think it's fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It would mean so much to me if you would like this video, if you liked it. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That's gonna help me, first of all, just get out there to others perhaps, but it's also gonna help me know that you like what I do. Yeah, and then as I said in the beginning, you can find me on TikTok and on Instagram as by Michelle Knapman. And otherwise what I'm gonna say is I see you next time, and stay safe. Bye!